Right now, I will say that nobody has a team as deep as Arsenal in terms of the quality that it can have. Some team can give them a good run for the starting 11, but if you look at the team itself, you know, it's almost two teams. When you see who's on the bench tonight, and you're still missing Odegaard, Kai Havertz, and Bukayo Saka,
and Jesus.
And Jesus, yes, I even forgot. So when you look at that, you're like, okay, the team now is well equipped to be able to play in all competition. But now, let's all be honest, and I said it, I'll say it again. It's a must this year to win something. It's a must.
Something like what?
You can't hide.
It's a must to win something this year. It's a must. And I think what he wants to finish saying is, you can't hide, say injury, death. They don't support to give you everything. I'm all for that. As I say, this season, Shola, we must win something. We have the equipment now.
Are you talking league?
Any competition that you're playing, whatever it is, you have to bring something. And I know people will talk about the title, but it's going to be. I do think that it's going to be a battle between Liverpool and Arsenal. You can't of Man City yet. They're trying some new things with new players, but you have to win something. And I said it so many times. If you talk about what has been done recently, finishing second never gave you a trophy. It's great, but at one point you got to validate what you're doing. I still believe, and I will say it again, that it is possible. But this year, you cannot go back and talk about injuries, which they are happening, like they are happening in other clubs also. You look at Paris Saint-Germain, they're struggling also with injuries through, you know, what happened in international duties and a bit before. But you have to bring something this year. No more excuses, no more nothing. You have the squad now. You have everything that you need to have in order to perform. And as a fan, obviously, I will support the team like I always do. But at one point also, you got to be honest. This year is a must. No more excuses.
Can I ask you a question?
Before you ask your question, you always hear me talk. As a fan, I have to do what? Support the team like I always do. Which is what CHUKS also does. In fact, every no day when I educate people on what being a fan is when I do the evening show. Because most people say they are Arsenal fan, but they don't behave like fans. They don't behave like fans. They are not ready to support their team. They're not ready to praise the team. All they want is just 3 points, 3 points. See, being a fan it goes beyond 3 points because you can't get the 3 points every day. So what happens when the 3 point does not come in? You lose your sanity. You become toxic. So you must learn how to be a fan. Give criticisms when you need to give them. Nobody's arguing that. It's your prerogative. Give them. But when the team also does well, shower them with so much encomiums. Give them their flowers. I'm all for that.
Manager's point of view, you've been in the hot seat. Now for Arteta, of course, there's always going to be pressure on a manager. Yeah. But with the signings now, is it even more pressure that he's having to deal with because of the signings? Or
yeah, but that's the pressure that you want.
Okay.
You know, if you can rotate like he did rotate, for example, against Nottingham Forest, and he will do it even more so during the season. Understand me well. Don't go and say what I didn't say. I'm not talking about you. I'm not calling for anybody to not be there at the club. I'm just saying this year, you have to win something. Cannot hide, you know, as a player, we did it with Arsenal also. My first year, my second year, my third year, we finished second. And then we won the double in 2002. I mean, not my first year, I wasn't there yet, sorry, in 99, they finished second. Then my first year, my second year, we finished second, so that's 3 years in a row. You know, when I came back from the summer, I was like, we have to win something this year, regardless of what it is.
I think a couple of years ago, we'd say Arsenal still need to win something. Now we're getting at that stage. But for me, I don't even think it's like the FA Cup. You want to win the FA Cup or another cup, it's nice. Arsenal have a squad now. When you look at their bench, and Thierry mentioned some of the players who are still missing, that's what you'd expect to see on Paris Saint-Germain's bench or Real Madrid when we've spoken about those clubs in the past. Arsenal have to go really, really closely. I mean, in terms of Mikel Arteta right now, we talk about spending, and Liverpool have spent a lot more this summer, no doubt. But in terms of a club, Arsenal don't sell well. They don't sell any players. Liverpool do.
This Garaga said, how can we sell well when we are not selling quality players? Liverpool sold quality players. Luis Diaz, it's a quality player. Look at Darwin Núñez, he's a quality player. Look at the people we are selling fringe players. Diogo Jota got rest and soul. That one don't be seen in seller. That one just go. Look at Trent Alexander-Arnold. You say the one sell that one, I don't know, you know how much? So most of all the players who come up for Liverpool, now quality, yes. We look at Sambi Lokonga, Reece Nelson. How much you want to collect for those one ahead? So I'm tired of hearing people talk about this selling or no selling. Me personally, I want Arsenal to win something, you get. But I don't really box them into a corner like you must win this or you must win that. Like Henry, from what we don't hear from Henry's this video now, Henry don't really box them into a corner, but you know, we say, shall win something. Who could lift something? Who could be like a starting point? You get. Whether I go be two, go just break the jinx. So maybe in the course of the video, maybe Henry will come box them to one corner. No, really, no. Let's continue watching.
Chelsea do as well. They bring a lot of money in to give them the chance to then go and spend big. Arsenal don't. So in terms of the top of his club, they have backed him to the hilt. They're just continually spending money to create this squad and this team, and they have to pay them back now.
So, I ask you a question for you. Like, if I don't like to compare eras and go back to, because we're going to that. If I was in that dressing room, I'm aiming for the title.
Oh yeah, has to be.
Of course.
Now, again, but I'm not. As a fan, I would want my club to win something. If I was a player.
That's a fan. Oh, see analysis. I want them to win something.
In that dressing room, I'm saying I'm going title first. That's what I want. But when you play for the title, you need to go and get it. Not play, not to lose games. And I've said that a long time ago. I'm not saying that since this year. I've been saying for a long time. If you want to beat Liverpool or Man City, you got to go and get it. You cannot enter a game by, let's not lose it. And this is not me saying that now. I said it before, long time ago. If you want to win the league, in my time, if we had to go and get Man United, you cannot just go, oh, let's see if we can draw this one.
Do you think they did that at Anfield?
But that's not a fair call. Why they talk like this now? In your time, you had you. In our time, we get you. Which kind? Don't they talk all this kind of thing now? In your time, you day, Reyes day, Lumberg day, Pires day, Snowman day, defense, midfield, work ball, complete, Vieira day. You don't know who you be. You are the greatest of all time for Arsenal. They talk saying in your time, they had you. In our own time, who we get? We don't get nobody now. If we give us the productivity where you give during your own time. Do your own time. If I say this guy don't know what you do for Arsenal, go look your goal scoring exploits. You were a boss net like tomorrow, no, they fear you like man. Even this guy like where they beside you there, they respect you 100. Now we don't have players. If you give us players like Henry, now give us modern day Henry. We play for the old, give us the go boss everywhere now. Scatter everywhere. We're not going to fear anybody now, but they go anywhere. So I don't think that's the fair statement. So how about
this season?
But not only that happened so many times. I will go back to, I'm sure you remember that game when we lost 2-0 against Aston Villa at home. Takes a striker out, put a holding midfielder. At that moment, he thought about not losing the game. We ended up losing. I'm sure you remember the game. Watkins scored. And if we won that game, we're ahead of Man City. Then who knows what can happen. I'm just saying that if you want to win the league, it's in a title. You got to go and get it.
Let's go back to that subject of transfer spending, because...
Let me calm down. Let's pause. Now, Henry made two statements. He said, if to say him be the players for Arsenal, for the dressing room, waiting there with the plan, say me then win, we will make a big statement in the league. But as a fan with the outside, you know, go like to box them one side. You know, will be say, just win something. I make a no lie for you. Now, dear me, I don't stand. All the talk and since. If they win the league, would I like it? Yes, I would prefer it. Champions League, of course. But I know would like to just box them because nobody else get the capacity to win that league. But you see the Cups, that one luck follow. If you don't meet one strong team, at the end of the day, find yourself for the final. But you see that league, in fact, the Champions League too, you need luck. You can still win that one. So now do with me at the same. When I they watch, I don't know what to be your own thoughts. What do you think about this? Are you boxing Arsenal to win the Premier League? Are you boxing them to win the Champions League? Or you are saying win something, Sha? Win something, we could still celebrate this season. Say, okay, see what we moving forward. We could see that one go push us as a springboard.
Anita obviously made the comparison between the Premier League and La Liga, and I think we can just show you just how, to what extent the Premier League dwarfs the rest of spending around Europe. Obviously, we're making the comparison with Serie A, Bundesliga, Spain, La Liga, and Ligue 1. So, I guess what does that tell you, and what does it mean in terms of how English teams should be performing in the Champions League, Jamie?
Well, English teams have got 6 in it this season. And an English team should be at least getting to the final, I would say, every year. Possibly winning it, not every year. But you've still got Real Madrid and Barcelona in there, who it's 3 in it. It's all right, don't worry about that, I'm speaking. But what you've got, I think the English club should be dominating, and I've said this before, the Europa League and the Conference League. Because the disparity there between teams who finish 6, 7, 8 in England compared to Spain, Italy and other countries is absolutely vast. But Barcelona and Real Madrid can still compete with the biggest teams in Europe. And who's still got the best players in the world? Mbappe's at Real Madrid, Yamal is at Barcelona. So I know Game and me and him have had this discussion before, I think a year or so ago as well. And they bring it up a lot, and there's no doubt that the Premier League's a huge success story, and it's very difficult for those teams underneath the Spanish giants I've just mentioned. But, you know, Real Madrid have won 15 European Cups. Them and Barcelona break the world transfer record almost every season, or every 2 or 3 seasons. So there wasn't too many complaints from Guillaume then. No,
there wasn't. Thierry, any thoughts on this subject?
Look, it's not the first time that the Premier League spends more money than any other league. Jamie said it well. It's one thing to not being able to compete against Real Madrid and Barcelona. We all know what they can do. But one thing that used to be the case, and I agree to a point with Guillaume, is that they used to be able to compete. Yes, let's forget about the Champions League. Since he mentioned the league, let's talk about the Spanish league also. Other teams than Real Madrid and Barcelona. So if you look at the last 4 years, for example, on the screen that we're gonna show you now, the last 4 years, only Sevilla went to the final of Europa League, and look at before what was the case. And yes, you can also say that the best team from Spain cannot go back in Europa League now, because we all know from the Champions League you can't go down anymore. We all know that, but Tottenham, Atalanta, and Frankfurt won it, while Sevilla only won it in the last 4 years. So they used to, more often than not, go to finals and win them. And if you go back to also the Conference League, they only been one time to the final with Sevilla, and they lost it against Chelsea. So they used to be able to compete a tiny bit, or not a tiny bit, way better in European competition, and they don't anymore. Aside from Real Madrid and Barcelona. I'm talking about, obviously, the last 4 years, as you saw on the screen.
So do you think that trend will continue? Because the Premier League's only going to get bigger. It's the most exciting league. It's the best league. It might not be the most tactical or technical, but it's the most entertaining for sure.
You know, you bring the likes of, for example, if you take Arsenal, they brought Marino. You can take Zubimendi, and he's going to carry on. Fortunately for us living here, and for obviously English people, but you know, money talks at the end of the day. But it's going to be more and more difficult.
Money talks.
Sorry.
Which is a perfect moment.
Carry on. That's actually nice. No. But you know, it's going to be even more difficult to compete, because what happens is, as you saw, like Leicester side can get better players from the team in Spain. When you see that Trent Alexander-Arnold went to Real Madrid, you know, myself also, I went to Barcelona, although, you know, there's more money in bracket in the Premier League.
I guess we'll get interesting indication of how the two measure up, won't we, this week, because we've got 4 fixtures in total over these 3 days that are La Liga teams versus Premier League sides.
Well, you said only 3 English teams will go through, didn't you? Ooh. Yesterday?
Yeah, wow. I think when we get to, so we're talking like after the knockout, what was that? The last 16 or the quarter?
Go through.
Yeah, I think Arsenal, Liverpool and City will go through fine. And I think Tottenham will find it difficult. I think Newcastle will find it difficult. And I think Chelsea will as well. Is that okay?
Are you not proud of your opinion and say, is that okay?